Have you ever wondered if the state you're living in is on the verge of collapse? With the ongoing economic challenges, political instability, and environmental crisis, some states are teetering on the edge. In today's video, we'll dive into the top 10 states that are likely to collapse in 2024 or 2025. If you live in one of these states, you might want to start planning your exit strategy now. 10. California. California has long been known for its booming economy, Hollywood glitz, and Silicon Valley innovation. But beneath the surface, the Golden State is grappling with significant issues that could lead to its collapse. California's economy, once the fifth largest in the world, is now showing cracks. The high cost of living, especially housing, is pushing residents out of the state. Many businesses are relocating to more tax-friendly states, leading to job losses. Additionally, the state's debt is ballooning, with unfunded pension liabilities and an ever-growing homeless population straining resources. Wildfires, droughts, and earthquakes are natural disasters that California frequently faces. The state's water supply is under immense pressure due to prolonged droughts, and the increasing frequency of wildfires has made many areas uninhabitable. These environmental challenges could make California one of the first states to collapse under its own weight. 9. Illinois. Illinois has been on a downward spiral for years, and it seems like the situation is only getting worse. The state has been plagued by corruption and mismanagement, particularly in its largest city, Chicago. The political system in Illinois is broken, with leaders unable to come to agreements on how to fix the state's problems. This dysfunction is a major reason why Illinois could collapse soon. Illinois has one of the highest tax burdens in the country, yet it still struggles with massive debt. The state's pension crisis is one of the worst in the nation, with unfunded liabilities nearing $140 billion. Coupled with a shrinking population and businesses fleeing the state, Illinois is on the brink of financial disaster. 8. New York. New York, the Empire State, is another state on the verge of collapse. New York City, the state's economic engine, has been hit hard by the pandemic and the subsequent shift to remote work. This has led to a significant decline in commercial real estate values and tax revenues. The cost of living in New York is sky high, and the middle class is shrinking as people move to more affordable states. Crime rates in New York City have surged in recent years, leading to concerns about public safety. The police force is stretched thin, and budget cuts have made it difficult to address the rising crime. This has led to an exodus of residents, which is only exacerbating the state's economic problems. 7. Louisiana. Louisiana is facing a perfect storm of problems that could lead to its collapse. Louisiana is highly vulnerable to natural disasters, particularly hurricanes and flooding. The state's infrastructure is aging and inadequate to deal with the increasing frequency and severity of these events. As sea levels rise, parts of the state could become uninhabitable, leading to mass migrations. The state's economy relies heavily on oil and gas, industries that are facing significant challenges due to the global push toward renewable energy. As these industries decline, Louisiana's economy could collapse, leaving the state in a dire situation. 6. West Virginia. West Virginia has been struggling for decades, and the situation is not improving. The decline of the coal industry has devastated West Virginia's economy. Once a major coal producer, the state has seen jobs disappear as the country moves away from coal as an energy source. This has led to widespread poverty, unemployment, and a shrinking population. West Virginia has some of the worst health outcomes in the country, with high rates of obesity, diabetes, and opioid addiction. The state's healthcare system is underfunded and struggling to keep up with the needs of its residents. Without significant intervention, West Virginia could collapse under the weight of these issues. 5. Mississippi. Mississippi has long been one of the poorest states in the country, and it's facing a number of challenges that could lead to its collapse. Mississippi's economy is struggling, with high unemployment rates and low wages. The state's educational system is underfunded, leading to a lack of skilled workers. This has made it difficult to attract businesses, leading to a vicious cycle of poverty and economic stagnation. Like Louisiana, Mississippi is highly vulnerable to natural disasters, particularly hurricanes and flooding. The state's infrastructure is not equipped to handle these events, and the damage from recent storms has been devastating. Without significant investment in infrastructure, Mississippi could face a bleak future. 4. New Jersey. New Jersey is another state that could be on the brink of collapse. New Jersey has one of the highest costs of living in the country, and property taxes are through the roof. This has led to an exodus of residents, particularly retirees who can no longer afford to live in the state. As more people leave, the state's tax base is shrinking, leading to budget shortfalls. New Jersey has a long history of political corruption, and this has led to mismanagement and inefficiency in the state's government. The state's pension system is underfunded, and the government has been unable to come up with a plan to fix it. Without significant reforms, New Jersey could be headed for collapse. 3. Connecticut. Connecticut is a small state with a rich history, but it's currently facing big problems that could potentially lead to its collapse if significant changes aren't made soon. Once a thriving hub of industry and manufacturing, Connecticut has seen its economy decline steadily over the years. The state was once home to numerous factories and large corporations, contributing to its reputation as an economic powerhouse. However, as industries moved overseas and companies relocated to states with lower taxes and operating costs, Connecticut's economic foundation began to erode. Connecticut's high tax burden has driven businesses and residents to leave, shrinking the population and tax base. This exodus has triggered a cycle of economic decline, leaving the state with budget deficits and underfunded public services, putting its finances in dire straits. Connecticut's aging infrastructure is in desperate need of investment. Congested highways and a crumbling rail system are causing daily issues for commuters. Bridges and roads require urgent repairs, but funding has been difficult to secure. Without significant investment, the state's transportation system could fail, hindering economic growth and pushing Connecticut closer to collapse. This infrastructure decline poses a serious threat to the state's future. 2. Alaska. Alaska might seem like an unlikely candidate for collapse, given its vast natural beauty and rich resources, but the state is facing significant and growing challenges that could push it toward economic and social instability. Alaska's economy is heavily dependent on oil, a resource that has long been the backbone of the state's wealth. However, as global demand for oil declines due to shifts towards renewable energy and international policies aimed at reducing carbon emissions, Alaska's economy is feeling the strain. The state's budget is heavily reliant on oil revenues, accounting for a substantial portion of its income. With oil prices fluctuating and the industry facing long-term decline, Alaska is experiencing significant budget shortfalls. These financial issues are leading to cuts in public services, which in turn affects education, healthcare, and infrastructure maintenance. The reliance on a single industry makes Alaska's economy incredibly vulnerable to global market changes, and without diversification, the state could face severe economic hardship in the near future. Alaska is on the front lines of climate change, dealing with its effects more acutely than many other states. Rising temperatures are causing permafrost to melt, leading to the destabilization of infrastructure such as roads, buildings, and pipelines. This melting permafrost also releases large amounts of greenhouse gases, further exacerbating climate change. Coastal erosion is another major issue, with entire communities being forced to relocate as their land is swallowed by the sea. The changing climate is also affecting local ecosystems, disrupting the livelihoods of those who depend on fishing and wildlife. Without significant investment in climate adaptation and mitigation strategies, Alaska could face a future where entire regions become uninhabitable, leading to a potential mass exodus of residents and a further strain on the state's already fragile economy. 1. Hawaii. Hawaii might be a tropical paradise, but it's also facing significant challenges that could lead to its collapse. Hawaii's economy is heavily dependent on tourism, and the pandemic has shown how vulnerable the state is to disruptions in this industry. With the global economy still recovering, Hawaii's tourism industry is struggling to bounce back, leading to high unemployment and economic hardship. Hawaii's geographic isolation makes it highly dependent on imports for food, fuel, and other essential goods. This makes the state vulnerable to supply chain disruptions, which could become more frequent as climate change and geopolitical tensions increase. Without significant investment in local production and infrastructure, Hawaii could face a difficult future. If you live in these states, start planning for your future. Challenges like economic decline, political issues, and environmental problems are growing. These states might face serious trouble soon. Check your situation and think about moving to a more stable place before it's too late. Thanks for watching. If you found this helpful, hit the like button and subscribe for more updates. Stay safe out there.